My name is Mark Panigoni, and this is my story.
The night is December 19th. All four of us, Mark, Jack, Magnus, and myself, were at the football banquet.
We were first at the banquet, but then we had to go to basketball practice.
It was right after practice. Family, parents, kids, they all left.
After practice, we just playing around with some friends.
Tony and I were just talking, catching up, and I wanted to leave. But I said, you know what, I'm just gonna stick around just a little bit longer.
I know we had basketball practice, and I do remember after the practice playing with Jack.
He just stops for a second, and then he just falls down.
That's probably the last thing I remember from that night.
Next thing you know, I hear Jack say, "Dad, stop playing around, get up."
I'm just kind of like hesitating, kind of thinking, I don't think everything's okay.
Right then and there, I called 911.
Call came in as a cardiac arrest at the elementary school gym.
But here's the hard part. Assessing him when I'm running to him, he's not his regular color. He's turning blue.
By then, I was like, oh, something is wrong. I don't know if he's gonna be okay.
We were flagged down by a bystander, gathered our equipment, walked into the gym, and we could see CPR being performed on somebody across the gym.
I think Bradley or his coworker said, just keep going, and then we'll take over.
Mark was dead.
My heart stopped for 6 minutes. So according, I guess I'm mathematically or medically dead at that point, but I don't think it was my time to die.
I said to myself, Jack can't lose his dad. Can't lose him.
That night, I think the Lord was with me and he guided me the right phone number. And when I heard my mother's voice, it was probably the best thing that happened that day.
His voice was quavering, and he said, "Mommy, there's an ambulance here for Daddy." He fainted, and I said, "I'm on the way."
We shocked him a couple times, actually got a pulse back and loaded him on the stretcher. Within about 10 minutes, we were in the ambulance and on the way to the hospital.
A firefighter came up, and he was trying to console Jack too, and he was saying, "Your dad's heartbeat is beating again. This is good."
We started to get an idea that things were going to be okay while en route to the hospital. Mark had gotten a pulse back and was attempting to breathe on his own.
The men from the church had gotten the word, and they began to congregate and to try to begin to figure out what they could do to support Lisa and the family. Began to pray for Mark and just try to figure out how we could move forward and help the family at that point in time.
That is Brian Betzer. That is Bill Holt. That is Brian Williams. Mike Tucker's here. Dan McConaughey's here. Sid Brock is here. They're here for me. That was something. We don't have family here, and I can tell you that night we felt like we had family here.
The people at Heritage Church, the ones that came to Lisa's aid and were there for Lisa, the ones that prayed for me, the whole community and the church were really there. They came together, and I realized that more and more after being in the hospital and seeing people on Facebook and finding out and seeing pictures of the kids at school that were praying for me, praying for our family. It really made us feel like we're part of one big family.
I've been doing this 29 years, so I've seen a lot of death, a lot of survival, and you see God show up and do some pretty amazing things. And in this situation, God showed up, and it was a miracle, for Mark to survive. So it bolsters your faith. You see tangible evidence of God working, in somebody's life. You see Him real, and that is absolutely, just amazing to watch. To know that God has actually made a difference in somebody's life, and they've got a testimony, they've got a God story to tell themselves.
This experience made me feel safe, and it made me feel like God has a hand in what's happening in our lives on a daily basis. And I saw that He uses people, and we should always be open to being there for others. It's made me just so thankful that I've got my husband around, and my son has his father for years to come.
And the biggest thing that I took from that thing was hope. Because everyone else, you know, can have hope. It's something that everyone can have, and no one can take it away from you.
I want to say this to the people who had a part in saving my father's life. I can't express my gratitude. I am so happy that my dad's still alive, and I'm happy that God put you on this earth because you have done wonderful things.
I really want to thank you, and I know that my family thanks you, and that hopefully in all of this that happened, that you felt the way I have felt, that God was involved, that you could feel that He was working through you to save my life, because I'm living proof that God does miracles even today.
I believe that God does make miracles, and my dad is the proof.
Mark is a living day miracle. Don't ever give up hope.